Hello everybody. Working today with Algebra 1 Part 2, Chapter 8, Section 2, which is multiplying a polynomial by a monomial. You'll see or hear in the books distributive property. Which is completely fine. I'm going to show you two ways to do these things. Horizontally, which would be distributive property, and also vertically, because let's face it, that's how you've done math problems before you use calculators. So if I were to ask you this, how to do this problem, if I ask you to take 24 times 17, many of you aren't going to say, well, I'll take the 20 times the 10 and do the distributive property this way. You're going to set this thing up. You're going to put 24 times 17 and do a vertical math problem. Again, if I'm not using a calculator, we take 7 times 4, we get 28. Carry the 2. Now with polynomials, we're not carrying things. That's the one difference. 7 times 2 is 14, plus 2 is 16. But similar to this is the tens column. I'm not going to put it in the ones column here. So I line up my like columns, if you will. 1 times 4 is 4. That 2 has been used. 1 times 2 is 2. And then I add my like terms, or in this case, my like columns. 1 column. Tens column, carry the 1. We get an answer of 408. I'm telling you, same thing going on here. Same thing going on here. So let's look at an example. I'm going to give you a negative 3 x squared times a quantity of 7x squared minus x minus plus 4. Two ways we're going to do it. Let's go distributive property first. That means I got to take all of this times all of that times that and times that. Which, in your head, I'm going to write it out in paper though. 3x squared times 7x squared. Our properties from previous chapter come into play. And then we will add to it negative 3x squared times negative x. And then we'll add to it negative 3x squared times 4. As we have done in the past, coefficient times coefficient, so there's a negative 21. Multiplying things of the same base, keep the base, add the exponents, x to the 4th. Here, negative 3 times negative 1 is positive 3, so I put a plus 3. X squared times x to the 1st, x cubed. And here, negative 3 times 4 is negative 12, so I'm not going to put plus negative 12. I'll just write the 1 minus sign. No variables with it, so x squared. That's the distributive property. Let's look at it using a vertical setup. So I'll put it off to the side, right over here. I'm going to consider this a 3-digit number, trinomial, 1-digit number, monomial. So I'll put the 7x squared minus x plus 4, and then times negative 3x squared. So we're multiplying. So we do so. Negative 3x squared times 4, negative 12x squared. Negative 3x squared times negative x, negative times negative is positive. So positive 3x to the 3rd power. And then here to here. So that gives me a negative 21. X squared times x squared is x to the fourth. So as we're working on this, it's going to be your call. You can do a distributive property, which some of you might find easier. You can set this up. This will be a future thing that you'll want to do on some, again, but some present themselves without having to do that. Let's try another example. All right, in this example, I'm going to give you 2p times a quantity of negative 4p squared plus 5p, and then minus 5 times a quantity of 2p squared plus 20. Directions here are simplify. Now, in a situation like this, this one might be a better situation to use the distributive property. I mean, we can do this, but I got a couple different setups. Again, your call. I got the pen. My call is I'm going to go distributive property. So I'm going to take that times that, and that times that first and foremost. 2 times negative 4, negative 8, p to the first times p squared, p cubed. 2 times 5 is 10, letter p times letter p, p squared. What's crucial on this next one is the sign. We are taking a negative 5 times this term times this term. The negative is vital. So negative 5 times 2p squared gives us negative 10p squared. Negative 5 times 20 is a negative 100. Now, it's time to check. Can I combine like terms? So we look and see if we have any. So rule of thumb, because we want to put it in standard form, is we want the highest power work there and down. Highest power C is 3. So we look here. Nothing matches up with it. Negative 8p to the third. P squared, p squared. Negative 10, positive 10. They cancel each other out. No constants to go with this, so minus 100. And we are completely simplified. Okay, we have one more example before we end this particular lesson. There are going to be times when we're going to have to solve the equation. So if I were to give you this, 2x times a quantity of x plus 4 plus 7 equals the quantity of x plus 8 plus 2x times the quantity of x plus 1, and then plus 12. The difference here is an equal sign is involved. So this wouldn't be one where they say simplify. This would be a problem where we would say solve. So in order to solve, we got variables over here, we got variables over here, over here. They're all over the place. So to solve, first thing is we have to get rid of the grouping symbols the best that we can. Well, how are we going to get rid of these? Distribute. Here, here. 2x times x will give us 2x squared. 2x times 4 will give us plus 8x. Plus 7 unfazed. No more grouping symbols. Good. On this side, these grouping symbols, are they holding anything back? And the answer is no. They're just there to show you that they kind of go together. So we can drop them right now. This grouping symbol is holding this back. So we have to distribute that in. So we'll have plus 2x squared plus 2x plus 12. Now, different people are going to tell you different things when you get into this stage. It comes down to this. Make it as simple as you can for yourself. So as we look over here, can we combine any like terms? Squared, first power, no exponent. The answer is no. But we can combine on this side. Remember, when you're doing combining like terms, it's a side thing, one side of the equal sign or the other. So we look. So unphased, 2x squared plus 8x plus 7. Now, same deal. I'm going to go in descending order, standard form. Squared's the biggest power. Nothing like it here. So 2x squared. X to the first power, x to the first power. 2x, 1x. Plus 3x. No variable, no variable. Positive 8, positive 12. Plus 20. So now we've simplified that right side. We're not done, but we just simplified. Next, we're solving for variables. Get the variables on one side. To your call. You can put them on the right side, you can put them on the left sides. And again, it's up to you. I'm more of a, I like my variables on the left side, so that's what I'm going to do. So that means I want variables on the left. I want my variables on the left. That means I want my constants on the right. So let's go ahead and start doing this. So it means I don't want this over here, so I'm going to get rid of it. How? Subtract 2x squared. We all know the phrase, what you do to one side, you got to do the other side. So minus the 2x squared. Well, nice thing about that is it cancels out. I got less things to worry about. 8x plus 7 equals 3x plus 20. Still haven't accomplished it, but I'm looking a little bit better. So, again, I want my variables on the left. So next thing I'm going to do, I am going to subtract 3x. Now, some people might do a little bit different. My choice. 5x plus 7 equals 20. All right. So now, as we look at this, we've got all of our variables over here, but we still have numbers over here, so we've got to get rid of the numbers on top of this. So as we get rid of the numbers, I'm going to subtract 7 here, subtract 7 here. 5x equals 13. Final step, divide by 5. You can leave your answer as 13 over 5. Or as some of you will do, you'll say it goes in 2.6 times. The assignments for this practice are listed on the Google Classroom. Just to make sure, first part of the assignment is going to be page 474, and we're doing 1 through 17 odd.